Hey guys, Second Double A here, and welcome to the 78 Days of Halloween. I started this tradition back in 2016 in which I made one video for it, and then took my 7-year break from YouTube, in which I celebrated the 78 days privately each year. But no more. I plan on making several videos for this very extended holiday. Also, for anyone who has only subscribed to the challenge videos, don't worry, they're on their way. If I can, I'll even squeeze a Halloween-themed challenge into this celebration. At the very least, maybe I'll finally finish my Dark Brotherhood video. Oops. Anyway, enjoy the video. What a quaint first section with a little bit of background info and pointless plot synopsis. Darkseed, an MS-DOS game released in 1992. I first learned about it back in 2010 when Peanut Butter Gamer released a video about it. I was going to open this video with a reference to his
Darkseed is an old PC game. In fact, it's so old that I had to find a program called DOSBox, an MS-DOS emulator, just to play the game on my computer.
But then I came to realize that soon that video will be just as old as the game was when it came out. One thing that hasn't changed though, you still need DOSBox to run the game. It hasn't gotten any easier to work either. In order to run the game, first you need to insert the disk into your virtual DOS PC. Then you need to mount another drive just to get the game files, and then switch to that drive just to finally be able to run the command to start the game. If you don't follow those specific steps, the game won't work. And if you downloaded a game because it costs money to own a game that is incompatible with all modern PCs, good luck. That adds several steps, and depending on where you downloaded it from, there's a chance it won't work at all. On top of that, websites like that are sketchy as heck, so it also could easily cause you to get a virus. So, is all that effort worth it? Let's find out. Here is Darkseed. The first thing you're bound to notice when you get the game running is that DOSBox runs it in widescreen. Somehow. The second, and more important thing you'll notice is the art. The art in this game was all either done or inspired by H.R. Giger. That alone should give you a strong idea what you're in for art and plot-wise. After the credits, you'll get this lovely visual of what appears to be an alien fetus getting injected into this guy's brain. This guy is Mike Dawson, one of the designers of the game, who wakes up with
a monster headache.
He won't shut up about it either.
My head is killing me. My head feels like it's going to explode.
So we go ahead and have him take some headache pills so he'll be quiet for a minute. I'll be honest with you, this game is incredibly convoluted, and if you forget to do any one small thing, you'll end up dying or stuck, and you won't know what you did or forgot to do. It took me about 30 hours of gameplay to finally get my hour-long walkthrough for the gameplay channel recorded, so if you're looking to see everything in detail, I recommend checking that one out. But we'll hit the major strokes here. Mike has to run around his house for a while, picking up a bunch of things that don't seem important, like blueprints, a watch, a journal, etc. And at one point he has to climb down a rope to his backyard. Rather than just leaving the house and going to the backyard. Believe it or not, that is incredibly important. Mike has something to say about every area he enters, by the way.
Those wooden planks creak a lot. This place is a shambles. Reminds me of my last garage. At least the lawn doesn't need mowing.
When Mike finally leaves the house, he finds a package waiting on his doorstep. Someone gave him a baby doll. And then he heads to town, and more specifically,
What a quaint general store with a little bit of everything for day-to-day existence.
this guy, Delbert, comes in, tells us he's a lawyer, and leaves, giving us a literal get-out-of-jail-free card on his way out. So Mike heads to the library. Now, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. See if you can figure out where the thing I need to pick up is. Give up? It's this tiny dot on the floor. Apparently, that's a bobby pin, and apparently, that's important somehow. Mike has a crush on this librarian girl, by the way. Not exactly plot relevant, but I felt like pointing it out. Find book, tear paper out of book, head far west of the cemetery. Desecrate a mausoleum, get a key from an urn inside, and head home for all of 12 seconds to pick up the phone.
Hello?
Hello, Mike. This is Sue at the library. We have a book on hold for you, so please drop by sometime.
From there, walk all the way back to the library, pretty much ignore the book we pick up, and walk all the way back home again. Use the key on the clock just to open it and see basically nothing, and head to bed and go to sleep.
These nightmares have given me a mean headache.
Every single day requires a shower and headache pills or Mike will die. Just suddenly fall over and die. So you get a piece of glass to repair your mirror and it turns into a portal. Sure. Oh, and in this dark mirror world, I guess the game is suddenly Dungeons and Dragons?
An unnatural glow emanates from the chamber. Strange machines provide energy, nourishing the creatures cocooned in their sacks.
So we do more stuff that seems completely pointless and head back to the regular world. You dig up a grave because Mike just doesn't care whatsoever about the dead, and then head home just in time to get arrested.
Come here, Dawson. I want a word with you. You're under arrest, Mr. Dawson. Come with me.
So we get thrown in jail, or as Mike puts it,
What a cold and uninviting place.
we have to hide stuff under the pillow in the cell or we'll get completely stuck later. We then hand a guard a get out of jail free card and immediately steal a gun. Well done, Mike.
This is the inside of a police station.
Yes, Mike. Excellent deduction.
Good to see you, Dawson.
So we meet up with Delbert, the get out of jail free guy, steal a stick from his dog, and leave. Heading back into the dark world, we throw the stick into the bottomless abyss, causing this guy to jump for it and, I guess, die. We head to,
The main lobby of an alien jail.
and for the second time in one day, get arrested. They take all our stuff, though, so it's a good thing that somehow putting stuff under the pillow in the regular world also put them in the dark world? We use the bobby pin to pick the lock, twice, and then hand it to the first alien to ask for it. In return, he gives us so we can sneak into the library.
You're in the Great Archive Chamber. Many of the ancient secrets are available here for those who know how to access them.
You turn on the thing and talk to the lady, and with that, back to the light world and straight to bed.
Both my headache and these nightmares are getting worse.
More meaningless busy work, then get stick, get rock, get keys, go to dark world. Combine rock with stick and go back. Did you know scotch is a good source of car fuel? Me neither, but this game says it's okay, so... We start the car and go straight back to the dark world. Again. Head to the dark world garage, flip a switch, and immediately leave. The alien ship flies away and Mike forces you back to the light world. Smash the mirror with the hammer and that's it, I guess?
I'm not really sure why I'm here, but I just felt drawn to you. I know it sounds strange, but what's even more strange is that I found these pills in my purse. It's a prescription filled in your name for relief of severe headaches.
I'm just beginning to understand.
Well, could you fill me in? What a quaint second section with a little bit of an actual review. So let's get this out of the way.
Darkseid is an old PC game.
It's antiquated, very much a product of its time. So let's try to take that into consideration. That said, we should look at it both as what it was and what it is, not just one or the other. So let's talk about my feelings today before we get into if it's good for its time. First off, as I mentioned, getting this game to run is a true nightmare. While that's true for most DOS games, many still had some foresight to try to account with future compatibility. It's not a huge deal, but the hassle did stop me from being willing to play the game for a while. Then there's the load times. Look at this. I'm not super experienced with DOS, but it really takes me out of it to have to watch Mike frozen in place for 5 to 10 seconds. Not to mention the game really enjoys failing to load between the opening cutscene and the game starting as it switches to a different executable. The switch causes quite a bit of crashing, or even if it doesn't crash, extra awful load times. But above all, obviously, the game is ridiculously cryptic for a game in which you have to do very specific things in a very specific order. I direct your attention again to the bobby pin, the rope to get into your backyard when you could just go out the front door. And though I've yet to mention this journal entry. If you don't read it between digging it out of this grave and getting arrested 2 seconds later,
Come
the
here,
pillow
Dawson.
doesn't show up, and you can't continue after being alien arrested. The whole game is like this. If you don't do exactly this in exactly this order, you will probably die. There's a barber shop in town and you never enter it. There's a
Sign over
guardhouse in the
doorway
dark world and you never go there either.
would tell you
There
this
are
is the
several
Texas
areas
Guard
that,
Recruitment
if you
Center.
just enter them to appreciate the art or the witty dialogue or just out of curiosity, you lose. It's too much. That said, this game is far from devoid of positive qualities. There's so much good here. The music is all very fun. The art is, as is to be
You're in the
expected
Great
by
Archive
H.R. Geiger,
Center.
phenomenal.
Many of the ancient
Mike's
secrets
stupid
are buried
one-liners
here.
about whatever
For
area
those
he's
who
in
know
are
how
very
to
charming.
act.
What a quaint general store with a little bit of everything for day-to-day existence.
But the question is, does that make a good game? A charming one to be sure, but a good one. It's hard to say. Personally, I think that if you need to use a walkthrough in order to have any chance of not dying in a game, that's an indicator of a poorly designed game. And when said walkthrough still gets you stuck, that's really not great. This isn't even a case of trial and error. Like, how does reading this journal entry cause a pillow to show up in a jail cell? How is a player supposed to see this bobby pin? There are things that should be communicated. The bobby pin should be bigger. The game should automatically have you read the journal entries consistently, as it does have you read some of them, but not all. It's very contrived. But that's my opinion as a modern gamer. Let's take a quick look from that time, and we'll see what the reviews thought about it back then. Let's see. 95, 72, 79, 88, 78, 70, 73, 80, and the worst review is still mixed to positive at 63. That's an overall average of 78. Comparing that to other games, it's considered on par with Harvest Moon 64, Pokemon Stadium 2, aka the better one, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and somehow it's about 20% better than the best Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? Let's look at what they actually have to say about it. This one only hates the screen flicker, and that text is hard to read? Not for the faint-hearted. Yeah, alright, bud. This review thinks it's a great game, but that the gameplay is confusing and weak. Maybe standards were just lower, but I feel like the gameplay being weak means the game is weak. Here's one in German. They also only dislike the screen flicker. The rest are similar, except for the one actually somewhat negative review, which again is more mixed to positive. So with that in mind, it would seem that this game was very well received when it released, making this bad game a product of its time rather than actually bad. In conclusion, the game still sucks to play in the modern day. I wouldn't really recommend it. Although, I'm also kind of lying. The art and charm of the game kind of do counterbalance. I wouldn't recommend beating the game, at least not without a walkthrough, but I would recommend, if you can manage to do so, playing the game. Enjoy it for what it is, and then delete it off your computer before you get so enraged by it that you smash your computer. Thanks for watching, everyone. Go bye. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Over here, quick self-promotion stuff, you know? Over here is the last main channel video. That is Indigo Park, the Rambly review. Over there is the gameplay channel, the video specifically of the game I just talked about. Subscribe. Okay, cool. Bye.